Mesdames et messieurs, je vais vous présenter Anton Roeder, qui était le vainqueur de la finale de la compétition Sidecar by Merlet en Allemagne. Donc il va, comme tout le monde, nous présenter sa version du Sidecar et une création personnelle. Sa création sera à base de gin et de crème cassis. Anton, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So, as said, my name is Anton Roeder. I'm from Germany, living in the south of Germany, in the Black Forest area right now. You'll see some of that especially in my first drink, which I want to present to you. My approach to drinks is a little bit different than that from Andrew. I tend to try to find rare ingredients that are seldom used, but I don't prepare them myself necessarily. So the first ingredient I found was this little bottle here, which is Verjus, which is the juice of not fully matured grapes, which I thought was kind of interesting in the sidecar competition, because of course the sidecar evolves or has a lot to do with grapes on different levels. So I decided to create a drink called Grapes Aside, to show what can be done with grapes besides just eating them as fruit or as grapes. So I take a little bit of this Verjus, and I like to use classic proportions as Andrews, but not the classic French ones, which would be equal parts, but I use 1 part of Verjus and 1 part of the triple sec, which obviously goes into a sidecar. And this is of course for 2 drinks. And I add quite a punch of cognac because that's what it's all about. Now, for me, that's 3 parts of cognac in this drink. For me, the beauty of the sidecar lies in its simplicity. That is why I only have 3 ingredients here, that's it. And that simplicity made it, for me, the perfect object for testing, well, not testing, but seeing whether I like a place, I like a situation, I like a bartender or not, or if we are on the same wavelength, so to speak. So, in a lot of bars I go in and the first thing I do is order a sidecar to see what the bartender does with that, because I think it's a very nice drink for that. Because on the one hand it's sort of difficult to make, sort of difficult to find a balance. On the other hand, if you balance it right, it's really a beautiful drink. And what happened was I met my future business partner through ordering a sidecar. He was behind the bar, I was ordering a sidecar, and after a while we decided to open a bar together, which will happen sometime in the future. I don't know the exact date, but I'm sure it will happen. It's almost finished already. I stir the drink as opposed to the classic method for a sidecar, which is shaking, because I like to retain the viscosity of the cognac as well as the Verjus, which is different from lemon juice, which you would usually use. So it gives the drink a really smooth feeling, which I think is best retained if you stir it. And then I add just a little bit of orange oil here from the peels of an orange to have to again accomplish a bridge between the now different, not citrus acid, but the different acid from the grapes, and the citrus fruit found in the Trois Citrus triple sec.
You've reached half time.
So that is my first drink, the Grapes Aside. Now for my second drink, I really wanted to do something crazy. I wanted to basically have a version of the Ramos Gin Fizz or the Morning Glory Fizz, which is of course quite difficult to achieve in only, I say, about 3 minutes or 4 minutes. So I had to come up with a method to do that. Now I lost my figure, there it is. And I will show you in a minute how that is done. And then of course, that was the first idea, and then I didn't know what I had to work with. But I kind of like that, because I always try to work with what I have at hand. What I found here was really nice pineapples. Now pineapples have the added benefit aside from tasting great, that they contain a lot of foaming agents. And that's something I need, of course, in a drink like the Remonstrant Fizz or any drink that should have some foam in it. And at the same time, they contain a lot of acid, so I don't need to add a lot of acid to my drink after that. So I decided to use pineapple. Of course, I had to use gin and creme de cassis, which I'm doing. And then, if you look at food pairing charts, which is a method to break down ingredients into their components and then try to rearrange them so they match, you find that licorice is a good match for both gin and cassis. And we find that in the absinthe, so I use a little bit of that. I think it adds great depth to the drink as well. And for the same reason, I use a little bit of Peychaud bitters, which have absinthe qualities. And then I add some sugar syrup. That's for texture mainly, because if you want to foam a drink, that's always nice to have. And I add a little bit of lemon juice to get some more acidity, and also to use the enzymes found in citrus fruit to basically cook the egg white I added to the drink in order to make the foam that I will get more stable. Now, I shake that, but just to make it cold actually. And then of course the requirements for the Sidecar competition say you have to do some kind of show, so I brushed up a little bit on my flair bartending skills. And this is what I used to know. And now comes the crazy part. I fill this into a cream siphon. I use a cream siphon because it has the right size. I didn't find any soda siphons with the capacity of half a liter, which I needed for this drink. But I do charge it with a soda cartridge. I'm sure somebody has done this before. I haven't really found any references except for a little passage in The Curious Bartender by Tristan Stevenson. He says you don't want a fizzy foam, but I do want a fizzy foam. And another nice thing about this is you can just serve the drink right from the siphon. Garnish it with a little bit of Peychaud bitters again, which is a reference to the orange flower water in the Remonstrant Fizz. And the name is the 1982 Glory Fizz, because another drink like that is the Morning Glory Fizz, which basically uses the same techniques. And of course 1982 is not only the year that the Crème de Cassis was born and the whole rejuvenization of the Merlet brand started, but also the year I was born, so I thought that was kind of nice. And I hope you liked it. Thank you for your attention.
Enjoy this trip.